Don mulaka wata yumaka wamahona nek. Ashantington unumani patoka wana kuna best chinga pala multongi.
Mucho shak pakat. Jid bunga rantang.
Delia, ako chekopa. Gino mulira king pajak slimo poidwana.
Kakin cha na kwat na bonkon wana kumbes chi pala mulak tonki pa na nonek.
Cha chiska.
Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun chuni yun ni jiji aldwana kava folpa muli kumana jishawa anibon kasha chonasi ichua byong bojoni nina mamato mule ra hakugri kagoga la parabola. Chinga pala multonki.
Ronda di hotonga kun hankabi.
Slimjo puanwandwana?
Yikukuno no ba mulira tikun. Mucho shak pakat. Kavadum ku pelio botenya. Bonanai kuchu. Jedo badawana ni di bobo. Tong nabung siya nunungnya. Tong patukas magdalea.
Kipuna, yin kin kun no ba mule rachi kun tong nabun shanuyang.
Ako chekopa. Chibedwana ni bobo. Donk nabung shanunyang.
Kin ba mule ratwana, tong kin ba no kunok nek. Kava numpa kumpialiar monokata.
Tulpada bonk molya gando danago chuchut.
Gino mula rakkampiak slimjo puanwandwana?
Yinkin kun no ba mulri rachikun. Ako chekopa. Gino mulira king pajak. Slimo poidwana. Bamulara. Mungko kun biskang.
Kin ba mule ratwana, tong kin ba no kunok nek.
Chibedwana ni bobo.
Kakin chana guana bokon.
Yinkin kun no ba mulri rachikun.
Rundi I chawa tong bola Johnny Gu, yumawama nibo lora waisha waga shichi.
Mucho shak pakat. Kieno no namapaole rachikun.
Chibedwana ni bobo. Donk nabung shanunyang. Donk patogas magdelia. Yinkin kun no ba mulri rachikun.
Gino mula rakkampiak slimjo puanwandwana?
Takum justak miki grabel mogo.
Yiki kun no ba mula draki chichon. Gino mula rakkampiak slimjo puanwandwana?
Ako chekopa.
Itanantayata. Yikukuno no ba mulira tikun. Tong hit kun chonting. Tong patukas magdalea.
Chibedwana ni bobo. Donk nabung shanunyang. Bolawan na chikni.
Jedo badawana ni di bobo.
Yumalit kain kotun. Chilo mulra de ne bobo. Mungko kun biskang.
Tangabun shan nang.
Delia.
Yiki kun no ba mula draki chichon. Slimjo puanwandwana?
Chibedwana ni bobo. Donk nabung shanunyang. Donk patogas magdelia. Kawan na bota. Ayut tagwa. Tong hay tuam jiji yumalit pa ang yingkotu. Tulba da bung kwalyagando de nago chuchut. Kachi juay sa haudonga.
Tong nabun shanuyang.
Tung ting ta chun kun nek mulira best. Yumalit kain kotun.
Mucho shak pakat.
Mucha shak pangpa. Yinkin kun no ba mulri rachikun. Rundi haudonga kun hunkabi. Munka kun biskang. Bamulara.
Kin pa mulera dwana. Tong kin pa no kunok nek. Kava numpa kumpialiar monokata.
Kieno no namapaole rachikun. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabung siya nunungya. Tong patukas magdalea.
Wama kumbes, chin palamuji. Chino mulira king pajak, slimo puedo ana. Wi itha natana itya. Watayuma kawama huhanik. Haku chekopa.
Bajoni yola wish.
Yikukuno no ba mulira jikun. Tong hit kun chonching. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabung siya nunungya.
Mucha shagpangpa. Yinkin kun no ba mulri rachikun.
Mucho siya pakat. Ci gratulo da pograshi onneung kompa jintono muchuba.
Wan Dwana?
Tong haitwam jiji jom lumpa. Nita poe tikito.
Ni Bajoni yola wish.
The same Revan who defeated the Mandalorians? How is that possible?
Mogisha ponka bolawana chikne. Mamule slimo podadada nanga kumbis mule rabest. Nechi chuna chubaching lorda itakun. Bogra wala no tumbacha. Wano kuspe ching pala mule donke.
Considering you are the former Dark Lord of the Sith, don't take it too personal if I don't completely trust you, okay?
Tong nabun shanuyang.
Yikukuno no ba mulira chikun achuta.
There's a secret you're hiding. You're not just another Jedi, are you?
Chinapala mule. Tong ki ba non tontek. Tuni chachon kun ne mule brabast.
That much is obvious. Still, you aren't exactly what I'd call a divine crusader. There is more to this.
Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byong bojoni. Minamambato mule ra.
Guess I was right.
Bugra shak kunti chiwa umchawa.
Then what do you want to be called?
Kakin chak nawa gawa bakon. Donk ki ba nukunek. Tanga buksha nagnong.
Secret, eh? What is it with you Jedi?
Tuni chachon kun ne mule brabast. Tanga buksha nagnong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Shuni yun ni jiji aldwana. Ni bajoni yola wish. Dopayuma pasen lapti nongutu.
Wait, it appears we have some company.
Just grumpy to patslimo. Chi ita kanki changa kilikon. Kinba muli radwana ji.
How thoughtful of you, Drix, but put the weapon away. I have a bad feeling about this.
Chi wi aita ka chong chicha.
All right, I get your point. I may be incapable of many things, but looking after myself is luckily something I'm good at. I think we should postpone this until later. Damon Drexel saved my life.
Hava! Yun patisa. Chi wak aita kanki jiyokaku.
Don't take it too personal if I don't completely trust you, okay? I was once a different Kobayashi. Trust me, you don't want to know. I'll make it a priority.
Uba baska dwana chichopa muska. Kakinja nawabagaon. Chi wak aita kanki jiyokaku. Kinba nikcha lora kun.
Although, why you'd want to go there in the first place is beyond me. You say there's some kind of ancient Sith cult?
Chachiska. Topa na otavokasa. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. No ba muri rati lai kunka.
Panda. So, are you ready?
Tuni chachon kun ne mule brabast.
Wait just a minute, Jedi. You don't fool me, Sarah. First, I want some answers. I want the truth.
Kunti chiwa chawa dong abuk shami nonok.
I can see why you want to go on that ship. The kind who come here searching for ancient Sith treasures, but only find death. I've seen plenty of them.
Shuni yun ni Gigi Aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana.
Kava! Yun patisa! Chiwa aita kang kijiyokaku! Chachiska. Topa na otavo kasa. Kinba ni chalora kun.
Rundi haudonga kuhungabi. Wana kunbes. Mucha shakpangpa.
Kinba ni chalora kun. Kakinja nawabagaon. Uba baska dwana chichopa muska.
Kin kunoba muli ra chinkun. Tong hait tun kun ching. Ni bobo jimata. Ni punaje.
Chopa chawa wisyun kun. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Chuba chi chopa kun wata. Kimba no kun nik dorcha. Tumirana no frata donko sercha doman toma. Pichage borang turang. Nada chawa yishun kun. No ba muli rati lai kunka. Da hupa botenya go Gigi piti. Cha skronki to patslimo. Gino molirani bubo tonking ba no kun neksag. Ichuta.
Wanga kun pistol piking kunyana. Tong patogas magtelia.
Ichuta. Kava! Yun patisa! Kutua benki! Chiska nichu! Chas kronki to patslimo!
Kavatumpa kunpa yiya mokapata!
Kon mulis limo po iwanga kun viskin. Kava!
Potaka chibintano.
Uba baska dwana chichopa muska. Kakincha nawabagaon. Kinba nikcha lora kun. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. No ba muli rati lai kunka. Padisa! Nikava mubaka! Chiwa aita kang kijiyokaku!
Kakincha na guanabrakon.
Kimba no kun nik dorcha. Tumirana no frata donko sercha doman toma.
I feel sick.
Tung abashun ni chunchi. Tangi wama jiko na.
You guys just wait here a second. I'll go on ahead.
Chinapala mula tong ki ba non tontek. Bona na kachu kipuna.
You got it. It's open.
Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Ku.
Ah, fresh subject with many corruptions that must be purged. I ask of you, what method of torture are you most partial to?
Tainka kikraya na chawanga kone.
I have some good news for you, subject. You are your own enemy, and with my help, you will soon come to realize that yourself. Or perhaps just an old-fashioned joke. The Force lightning? Ah, a tough one. If you believe that you can withstand my torture, you would be the first.
Tadzino mulera ni bono.
That's right. Scream. Beg for mercy.
Ci gratulo da
Why are you interrupting me? Can you not see I am engrossed in my work?
Chubakaha, chopa, chawachuish, yunku.
You're not a Sith soldier, you're an imposter. And Exodus Ra of the Korriban Academy was murdered as he toiled in his excavations. But you already know that, don't you? You are the one responsible, and I have come here to make you answer for his death with your own blood. Mythos Hunt was murdered, but it won't save you now. Exodus Ra shall be avenged.
Kinba mulera dwana.
Foolish woman, it was not a request, it was a statement. You too will pay for the death of Exodus Ra, assassin. I can sense the force within you. You will not survive beyond this encounter. Mandalorian, your simple tricks may work on the weak-minded, but not a Sith. Jedi.
Kavadumpa munsuru kuplaliyawa.
Takom justach miki grabarmogo.
Tua ulwan jiuma.
Hachu apanki. Hakoji kopa?
Tiumpe, doe punta krita zino mulera nibono. E bawatone ruta.
Ikukuno no ba mulera tikun. Mucho shak pakat.
Kaki kraya na chawanga kone.
Mulera best. Slimo puto ama.
Kipuna.
Chipikaza.
Mina mambato mulera. Dopayumas pasen lapti nungutu.
Come along now. Wait, just who exactly are you?
Model S0Z3. I am a droid programmed to aid in communication and reconnaissance.
Major Herka. I don't know.
You should know better than to place your trust in a strange computer.
Okay. As I've already said, you'll need to confirm the code that I've sent to your communicator.
If the data gathered by my sensors is accurate, the precise location of this entity is within the vicinity of our present location. My sensors indicate that it is the location of the entity that was previously interfering with my scan.
Ma'am? Is everything alright?
Ni bajoni yo la wish. Dopayumas pasen lapti nungutu.
Oh dear.
Too much security. There's droids, soldiers, and gun turrets.
I would much like to examine the entity that was interfering with my sensors. Yet I find myself here, with nothing to look forward to other than the rusting of my joints.
Alright, Major, your security clearance is coming in all green. You are not escaped prisoners, but high-ranking officers. As for you, you'd better go conduct your business.
I will stay here then, and await further instruction. Now leave me. I would prefer to apply hope to the current scenario alone.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but you're going to need to go to the medical bay with some...
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokapata.
You're right. You make a valid point. I'm sorry if I offended you, ma'am. You are a dark Jedi.
This should help a little.
Yiki kun no ba muladraki chichon.
There's a half a dozen guards.
Donk ki ba nukunek. Tonga boksha nak nong.
I've unlocked the door and disabled the droids and the gun turrets.
Tuni chachon kun ne mule brabast.
Of course, I'll keep an eye out.
Kipuna.
How do I know you're a dark Jedi?
Slinjo puanwandwana.
Are you enjoying the view?
Kuyami. Wanga kun bist kin ba mularag choni yun tun Gigi either dwana. Kava volpa mulji gumana?
Don't make me have to say I told you so.
Pudu.
What's wrong?
Tuni rama na praka donko searcha. Chupapanki.
Are you sure it's not just a headache? Because, in all honesty, considering your condition, you should still be back in the medbay.
Mina mambato mule ra.
But without your command of the Force, you're practically defenseless.
Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Ku. Yumawamanibo lora waisha waga shichi. Kava volpa muli kumana.
But that was a long time ago, Sarah. You know that. Then, the consequence was another coma. Your enthusiasm is inspiring, but overconfidence can be a weakness if you let it.
Kakin cha na guat na bon kon. Wanakumbes chi pala mulek tonki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest.
That's what we're here for.
Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Ku. Yumawamanibo lora waisha waga shichi. Ni bajoni yo lak wish. Dopayuma pasen lapti nungoto.
Revan, who betrayed the Republic and created the Sith Empire?
Bona na kachu. Kicha badwang. Wanga kum kiba bu mulera. Kakin chak nawagawa bakon. Donk kiba nukunek.
And Sarah Dagana, or the person I had come to know was Sarah Dagana. 'Cause you know what she was like on the Orion, and I doubt she's changed much since then.
Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Ku. Yumawamanibo lora waisha waga shichi. Kipuna na bonsha.
I'm on to you. Bad news and me go way back. I'm used to dealing with it.
Tanga bok sha nagnong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Shuni yun ni Gigi aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana. China pala mule. Tonki ba non tontek. Tuni chachon kun ne mule rabast.
Personal assassin?
Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Ku. Yumawamanibo lora waisha waga shichi.
Is she really responsible for the deaths of so many people?
Shachika ton mulaka wata yumaka wamahona nek. Ashanti tun unumani patoka. Wana kuna best chinga pala multonki.
I take it back. I take it back. I'm used to dealing with bad news, but this is on a whole different level. Still, I guess Revan's just a bad memory for you now. No use for me to linger on it.
Kakin cha na guat na bon kon. Wanakumbes chi pala mulek tonki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest. Wufmala nibo kurk. Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byong bojoni. Minamambato mule ra. Ni bajoni yo lak wish. Dopayuma pasen lapti nungoto. Nichi konchuva kin lorta ikakun. Tanga bok sha nagnong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Shuni yun ni Gigi aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana.
But even that's changed now.
Kakin cha na guat na bon kon. Wanakumbes chi pala mulek. Tonki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest. Wufmala nibo kurk. China pala mule. Tonki ba non tontek. Tuni chachon kun ne mule rabast. Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byong bojoni. Minamambato mule ra. Hakugri katkota parabola.
The Starforge. I've never seen anything like it. I'm transmitting these coordinates to Admiral Dodonna. Maybe a quick strike by the Republic can cripple the Sith fleet. Message is away. Now we can just wait for the Republic to show up. We should be safe here. We're outside their sensor range. Small vanguard of Sith fighters coming in hard. Someone needs to get on those gun turrets. Take those fighters out before they report our position to the main fleet. Oh, we've got problems. We've flown in some kind of disruptor field. All my instruments are jammed. We've got massive overloads in all systems. I'm picking up a single planet in this system. I'll try and put us down there. Hold on. This may be a rough landing. That disruptor field fried our stabilizers. We're lucky we made it down in one piece. But if I can't find the salvage to make repairs, I won't even be able to get the Ebon Hawk airborne again.
You know, during a rather rapid descent, I noticed the hulls of many crashed ships scattered across the landscape.
The old man's right. This planet's a technological graveyard. I saw dozens of downed ships out there. That disruptor field must have wiped them all out.
You're right. That Sith fleet we saw must have some type of protection against the disruptor field.
I fear Bastila will find the lure of the dark side difficult to resist. She is strong in the Force, but she's also impulsive, willful, and proud, as you once were, Revan. Malak preyed upon her weakness.
Well, if Bastila's on the Starforge like you think, Jolie, then we can't rescue her until we disable that disruptor field.
T3's picking up massive power fluctuations on the ship's sensors. They seem to be coming from some type of large stone structure to the east. It looks like some kind of ancient temple.
Statement. Master, I think I have detected signals emanating from this planet that indicate the presence of other assassin droids.
Patrol droids. They may be programmed to attack on sight. If that temple's generating power, it probably has something to do with that disruptor field.
I just hope we're not too late. Bastila's been Malak's prisoner for a long time. If he turns her to the dark side, she'll join him and the Sith will become invincible.
I know. I can't blame Bastila for being turned, however. She's just so young and doesn't deserve this kind of fate. We can probably find the wreckage of a downed ship along the way. And if we're lucky, we can salvage some stabilizers from it to get off this planet.
I hope everything works out as smooth as you make it sound, Karth.
Well, so do I, Mission. So do I. The sooner we investigate that temple to the east, the better.
Observation. You must have visited this planet as Darth Revan. You were a general in the Mandalorian Wars, Master. I have seen the records of your battles, and I know that your name was one the Mandalorians feared.
You're Revan, and I'll follow you anywhere. It doesn't matter who you're fighting against, I'll be at your side. Mandalorians don't have any great love for the Republic anyway.
Observation. I think Revan pitied you. All your behavior up to this point suggests either strong atonement or confirmation that the atrocities attributed to you during the war were in fact accidents.
Honor in battle, cheating death, comrades in arms. The code of the Mandalore. I'm not even sure what that is anymore. The Mandalorian are gone, defeated by the Republic and swept away by time. Light side, dark side, it doesn't make any difference to me, Revan. I'll stick by you no matter what comes.
Master, the location of the factory churning out these copies eludes me. And regardless, I am a unique model. Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable, and that I am glad I was never in service to Malak. You see, even though those clones are obviously cheap, artless imitations of me, well, they are still me. And I do not know where they would have obtained schematics of my design. They are built from my template. Of that I know for certain. Statement. I've only just been reactivated, only to find that there are substandard duplicates of me running all over the galaxy. But really, they had it coming.
The Republic fleet is on the way, and we're stuck on this planet until we deactivate that disruptor field.
Okay, let's get moving. The longer we wait, the harder this is gonna be.
Let's see.
I see it, don't worry. According to our info, one crashed just west of here, and the other is somewhere to the northeast.
Revan? Jikachi Revan? Revan? Jikachi Revan?
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Let's get moving again. Keep your distance a bit.
Revan, Jitachi Revan, Dong Kimbano Kunne Blakrekata. Dong Haitsax Wamaji.
Hold on a second. You understood these goggle-eyed freaks? You must have come to this planet and learned the language back before the Jedi messed up your mind. Back when you were still Revan.
Kimbano Kunne Lorda, Yumakun. Dong Hait Wamaji Revan, Ak Inkotun. Revan no Mulira. Chona Mulira, Tonk Revan. Yumakun. Revan Jilai Kunka. Chona Mulira, Tonk Revan.
Lord Malak, the Leviathan sensors have detected a ship matching the Ebon Hawk's signature, and it has crash-landed on Lihan. Lord Malak.
Revan,